Chris Davis was one of, if not the biggest power hitting names in all of baseball. He made his major league debut in 2008 with the Rangers, and after spending 3.5 years in Texas, Davis was traded to the Baltimore Orioles in 2011. He only played a combined 59 games with the Rangers and Orioles in 2011, but then 2012 arrived, and Davis quickly became one of the bigger names in baseball. In his time with the Orioles, Chris Davis became an All-Star, won a Silver Slugger Award, was an MVP candidate, helped push the Orioles to multiple postseason runs, earned his own nickname, and hit a ton of home runs. So naturally, the Orioles decided to give him a nice fat contract to keep him around for years to come. What could go wrong? Take a second to like this video, and if you're new to the channel and end up enjoying this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button for future baseball content. 2012 was finally the year where Davis figured it out. He did have an 880 OPS in his first season in 2008, but played only 80 games. From 2009 to 2011, Davis's highest OPS was 726, which he put up in 2009. In 2010, he had an OPS of 571 in only 45 games played, and a 708 OPS in only 59 games played the following year in 2011. Getting traded to the Orioles that season changed the course of his career because he ended up becoming a star in Baltimore. In 2012, his first full season with the Orioles, Davis finally got regular playing time, playing 139 games, which was the most of his career up until that point. In those 139 games, he hit 270 with an 827 OPS, playing a big part in getting the Orioles to the postseason that year, hitting a total of 6 home runs in the final 6 games of the season, and hitting 33 bombs overall, which led the team and also drove in 85 runs. 2012 was the first postseason berth for the Orioles since 1997, as they'd beat Davis's former team, the Texas Rangers, in the wildcard game, going on to lose in 5 games to the Yankees in the American League Division Series. The following season, 2013, was the best of Chris Davis's career by far. Before the season started, the Orioles decided to make Davis a full-time first baseman instead of bouncing him around from first to DH to outfield, and it's safe to say that it worked out. Before opening day, he set himself a personal home run record that he didn't publicly share, and I'm going to go on a limb and say that he either beat it pretty soundly or was pretty darn close to whatever number he made up for himself. It took just 4 games for the Orioles' new full-time first baseman to make history, putting up 16 RBIs in the first 4 games of the season, becoming the 4th player in baseball history to ever hit 4 home runs in the first 4 games of a season. On June 30th of 2013, some fan on Twitter decided to tweet at Davis, asking him if he's ever taken steroids, to which he responded with no. Later in an interview, he talked about how he's never used PEDs, especially with how strict Major League Baseball's drug testing is, claiming he didn't even know how to pronounce half the stuff on the illegal list, adding on that he believes Roger Maris is the true home run single-season leader over known steroid users Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, and Sammy Sosa. Remember what Davis said here, because it will be pretty relevant later on. Davis ended up getting elected to start the All-Star game, going on to also participate in the Home Run Derby. Davis finished the 2013 season with 53 home runs, the most in Orioles history for a single season, and that wasn't all. In 2013, Chris Davis led all of baseball in home runs, RBIs, extra base hits, and total bases, and became just the 3rd Major League player in history to hit 50 home runs and 40 doubles in a single season after Babe Ruth and Albert Bell. He hit 286, slugged over 600, had an OPS over 1,000, and finished 3rd in the MVP voting. So although the Orioles ended up missing the playoffs that year, Chris Davis couldn't have been any better. So the future did look bright for the Orioles. 2014 was a struggle for Davis, having lingering injuries and hitting under 200 for the year with an OPS right around 700. He was able to pop 26 homers, but just wasn't the same type of hitter he was the year prior. Remember when Davis was outspoken on how he never has taken any kind of PEDs? Well, on September 12th of 2014, Davis was suspended for 25 games after testing for amphetamine. The defense was that he tested positive because of his use of Adderall, which he previously had a quote-unquote therapeutic use exemption. He ended up serving the 25 games, and that was that. 2015 arrived, and Davis went back to his 2013 form, playing the same exact amount of games as he did that year, 160, connecting for 47 home runs, which was just 6 less than 2013, and overall being one of the more feared power bats league-wide. So after all the home runs, extra base hits, and thump that he showed in the Orioles lineup, Davis signed a nice big contract, a 7-year, $161 million deal to stay with the Orioles. This was the richest contract in Orioles history at the time, while simultaneously being the dumbest move made by the Orioles. Seriously. Up until this point in the video, Davis has been represented as an overall superstar who's had his fair share of struggles, but is an elite hitter who will continue to be so for years to come. Unfortunately for the Orioles and Davis himself, that just simply wasn't true. Chris Davis struck out a ton. Even when he was good, he was a strikeout king. In Davis's first solid year with the Orioles in 2012, he struck out 169 times, which was tied for 4th worst in the league. 2013, the year he made the All-Star team, broke the single-season Oriole home run record while winning a Silver Slugger and finishing 3rd in MVP voting. Davis struck out 199 times. In fact, 199 strikeouts was the Orioles' single-season record as well. He struck out 173 times in 2014 and then 208 times in 2015, which led all of baseball. In 2015, he struck out 31% of the time, which also led baseball. People strike out all the time, so as long as Davis continues to hit home runs and doubles, those punch-outs won't matter, right? Correct. With that being said, Davis was never bound to hit the way he did in 2013 and 2015 for most of his career. That was the issue. His on-base percentage was never that great, considering his OPS was very high for a couple of years. What that means is that his slugging percentage was the reason why that OPS was a high number. He was never an all-around and balanced great hitter. He had a long uppercut swing, one that was going to work for a couple of years, no doubt. But as you continue to age and the bat speed gets slower, you lose your power. And then what? It's not like Davis was a big on-base guy. He relied all of his success on his power. The Orioles should have saw this, and they either flat out failed to or did and completely ignored it, giving him over $160 million while committing to him for 7 years. The year he got the contract, 2016, Davis struck out 219 times, leading the league along with his 32.9 strikeout percentage, which also led the league. Now, he did put up an OPS of around 800, helping get the Orioles to the wildcard game, but still not what you want to see from your biggest paid player in franchise history, and it only goes downhill from there. Davis played 128 games in 2017, hitting to a 732 OPS while striking out 195 times, which was 3rd in the American League, with this strikeout percentage getting even higher at 37.2%, which led all of baseball. Davis started off the 2018 season so bad that the Orioles had to bench him at one point. He ended up finishing the season with a 168 batting average, a 539 OPS, striking out 192 times, which was 4th in the American League, while his strikeout percentage continued to be baseball's worst at 36.8%. His 168 batting average, 243 on base percentage, and 296 slugging percentage were each the lowest of all qualified major league batters, with his 168 average actually being the worst of all time for qualified major league hitters. This is rock bottom. It can't get any worse now, can it? Oh, you bet it did. Davis ended the 2018 season going 0 for 21, beginning a hitless streak that continued into 2019, and on April 8th of 2019, Davis's hitless streak set a new major league record for the most consecutive at-bats by a position player without a hit, going on to finally end the streak after being 0 for his last 54 before lining a base hit into right field at Fenway Park. Not only was he abysmal at the plate, but there was even a time where he almost got into a fight with his own manager and the dugout during a game. In August of 2019, during an Orioles-Yankees game, Davis had to physically be held back by his own teammates and coaches after almost getting into a fight with his own manager, Brandon Hyde. Soon after, Davis saw less and less playing time, ending the year having played 105 games with a 179 batting average and an OPS of 601. We then have 2020, the final year in which Davis would ever play Major League Baseball. In front of no fans in the stands, Davis hit 115 with a 333 OPS in 16 games played, not hitting a single home run before ending his season early due to a knee injury. Chris Davis was still on the Orioles roster by the time 2021 rolled around, having to be placed on the 60-day injured list before the season started due to a lower back strain. By May, it was announced that he would be missing all of 2021 after getting hip surgery. And just recently, he officially announced that he is hanging up the cleats for good at just 34 years old, still years to go on his big contract, citing injuries as a big factor. As far as the money goes, Chris Davis is basically the new Bobby Bonilla. He's going to be getting $42 million in deferred payments from 2023 to 2037. From 2023 to 2025, he'll be getting $9.16 million a year. From 2026 to 2032, he'll be getting $3.5 million a year, and from 2033 to 2037, $1.5 million a year. By the end of it all, Davis will be 51 years old and over 15 years removed since he last had a major league at bat. So from breaking the single season home run record by an Oriole, making an all-star team, finishing third in MVP voting one year, bringing the Orioles to multiple trips to October, and all around being one of the game's biggest sluggers, to statistically one of the worst hitters of all time, and someone who has to retire with years and money left on the books, it's pretty clear that the Orioles made an incredibly dumb decision in giving him all of that money, as it equated to a total disaster. Oh well, at least Orioles fans have a new holiday. Happy Chris Davis Day. Let me know what you think about Chris Davis, and thank you for watching.